Hey everybody, welcome to What Should I Believe? This is a new channel that I'm putting together where I'm going to just kind of go through searches on Google and explain whether I agree or disagree with them. Since this is all kind of off the top of my head, probably be a lot of mistakes and probably things I'll later change my mind on, especially with the help of wonderful people watching. I would love to get comments and insights on the various things that we discuss here. Just hopefully grow a new community of people who are hungry to find out what they should believe, whether or not there's more truthful things than others, or whether it's all relative. Let's begin. So, with that said, what is truth? So we get a bunch of videos, got questions. So this seems like a Bible page. What is truth? Christian broadcasting. All these seem like. Okay, let's go to Wikipedia first. So truth is most often used to mean being in accord with fact or reality. So I do agree that there is such thing as truth. The law of non-contradiction speaks to us about these things. The law of non-contradiction makes evident these things. Well, let's look up that. Law of non-contradiction. In logic, also known as the law of contradiction, principle of non-contradiction, states that contradictory propositions cannot both be true. So that kind of makes sense. It cannot be 38 degrees in my room now and also 58 degrees in the same time and in the same way. That is not possible. So there are such things as truths. That's the first thing I would like to establish. Let's go back to this truth thing. It's also sometimes defined in modern context as an idea of truth to self or authenticity. Good arguments for whether or not truth exists is something like, over the ages we've held certain beliefs that we perceive to be true or thought to be true that later on we find out were not true. So therefore our truth claims cannot really be absolute since they might change and we just don't know about it yet. I don't believe that if anything changes as far as us learning about something doesn't mean that truth ever changed. It just means that we were not aware of what truth was at that point in time. So it doesn't mean that, again, there is no such thing as truth. And it does mean that we may be wrong about what we think truth is, but that, again, just means we need to search for it constantly and not buy into things that don't make sense. There should be congruent continuity, and it should logically follow and make sense. When you're looking for truth, there needs to be correspondence. I like how it says truth is usually held to be opposite to falsehood, which correspondingly can suggest a logical, factual, or ethical meaning. The concept of truth is discussed and debated in several contexts, including philosophy, art, theology, and science. So, people argue about this in all sorts of places. Most human activities depend upon the concept, where its nature as a concept is assumed rather than being a subject of discussion. These include most sciences, law, journalism, and everyday life. So we see that in the sciences, in law and journalism, this concept is assumed. So if we see that truth is evident and we have no reason saying it exists and want to know the truth is being told to us, such as when we're at the bank, we don't want the bank teller telling us false information, we should also want to search for truth in ethical matters. And it is important to note the realms and domains of science allow for us to look at objective reality while Ethics and value structures, morality, are in the realm of subjectivity. This doesn't mean all values don't exist, but rather that our independent experiences mold the way that we view truth. So some philosophers view the concept of truth as basic and unable to be explained in any terms that are more easily understood than the concept of truth itself. To some, truth is viewed as the correspondence of language or thought to an independent reality, in what is sometimes called the correspondence theory of truth. And here in epistemology, the correspondence theory of truth states that the truth or falsity of a statement is determined only by how it relates to the world and whether it accurately describes that world. Various theories and views of truth continue to be debated among scholars, philosophers, and theologians. Language is a means by which humans convey information to one another. The method used to determine whether something is truth is termed a criterion of truth. Criteria of truth are standards and rules used to judge the accuracy of statements and claims. They are tools of verification. Understanding of philosophy's criteria of truth is fundamental to a clear evaluation of that philosophy. This necessity is driven by the varying blah blah blah. So, in this video, I guess I just really want to point out that truth exists and objective facts are continually happening and have happened since the beginning of time. Reality has actual changes, and anything that doesn't describe the events in that way is a lie. So, the most important thing is to find out what truth actually is. Now that we know that truth exists, the best way of doing that is looking at different philosophical ideas that have tried to explain fundamental questions of existence, reality, destiny, all these different factors that all of us are a part of must be looked into further to be able to make an accurate or the closest answer to truth. So with that being said, I'll probably stop this video here. On the next video, we'll go into more of how we can find truth and what different philosophers and religions have spoke to us about truth. I'll see you guys then.